Encephalitis is a serious condition in which the brain becomes inflamed. It affects hundreds of thousands of people worldwide every year, has several causes, and its diagnosis and treatment can be complex. The charity Encephalitis Society undertakes award-winning work around the world to raise awareness, collaborate on research and support those affected by this life-changing and sometimes fatal disease. Carolyn Sim went to meet those involved in this moving report.
Like any young couple, Robert and Sophie had been looking forward to their future together. They were dedicated to each other and to their academic careers. They lived together in a close, shared community where Sophie had enjoyed a vibrant and active life.
We were planning having a family. Life looked really exciting.
But while Sophie was on a field trip to China, she was bitten by a mosquito and developed the neurological condition encephalitis. She was in a coma for 3 weeks. Sophie was medically evacuated back to a specialist neuroscience centre in Liverpool. She had little to no movement in her arms and legs and was on a ventilator to help her breathe.
Thinking back what life could look like, it's just saddening, really. It didn't help me in the beginning to think about what the consequences of the condition is on us long term, because that would just freak me out. So my focus was to focus on... Yeah.
Had you heard of encephalitis?
Not really, no. I didn't know what it was when it happened to me. Quite shocked.
Sophie was infected by Japanese encephalitis, a severe kind which is only found in Southeast Asia and the Western Pacific Islands. But worldwide, there are around 500,000 cases caused by a range of other viruses, like herpes simplex and measles, every year. Yet research by the Encephalitis Society shows 8 out of 10 people haven't heard of it.
Encephalitis simply means inflammation of the brain, and it's generally caused in one of 2 ways, either by infection breaching the blood-brain barrier and mounting a direct infectious attack on the brain, or it can be caused by a person's own immune system going wrong and their immune system attacking the brain in error. In the United Kingdom, we estimate around about 6,000 cases every year. And so that means that encephalitis, despite the fact that many people haven't heard of the condition, actually has a higher incidence than motor neurone disease, multiple sclerosis, cerebral palsy and bacterial meningitis in comparison to many other countries.
Vaccines already exist to protect people from Japanese encephalitis, tick-borne encephalitis and, of course, measles. But they're not obligatory. People must choose to have them. The Encephalitis Society believes avoiding vaccination is simply not worth the risk. It supports scientific research into the development of more advanced vaccines.
Japanese encephalitis virus belongs to a family of viruses which is called the flaviviruses. And what you find with this family of viruses is when the body mounts a response to one of them, it also has the capacity to respond to other viruses at the same time. And so what I'm interested in doing is seeing if we can harness that to make a vaccine against, for example, Japanese encephalitis virus, which will also be effective against other viruses in the same family at the same time.
Sophie Williams has agreed to contribute to Dr. Turtle's work and has allowed her blood to be used in research.
It's amazing to know that Sophie can have a meaningful contribution to science.
I want to raise awareness.
Her being a scientist. You want to raise awareness.
Yeah. I want to stop it from happening to other people.
There are concerted efforts around the globe looking at how diagnosing these patients can be done much more quickly. If we can diagnose them more quickly, we can treat them. And if we can treat them more quickly, in many cases, we can prevent death and disability that comes with encephalitis.
Encephalitis can have a devastating impact on people's lives. Sophie and Robert are now helping to increase awareness of it so that people don't have to go through the same heartbreaking experience that they have.